Hi students, hope you all are fit and fine. So today we will start with the next part of the same chapter, that is acid, bases and salts. So in the earlier video we had learnt about the various properties of acid, bases and salts, right? So now in this video we will learn about the different reactions of acids and their properties. So let's begin. So now let's quickly see the different acids that we used in our everyday life. The first acid is citric acid, which is present in oranges. The soft drinks like cold drink consist of carbonic acid, vinegar consists of acetic acid, curd consists of lactic acid, tomatoes consist of oxalic acid. Our stomach release hydrochloric acid for the different enzymes to act over the food, and ants release formic acids which cause irritation to your skin when they bite you, as they release formic acid on your skin. So these are the different acids that we use in our everyday life. Now let's classify the acids. Acids are classified into two subcategories. One is organic acid and the second one is inorganic acid. Inorganic acids are also known as mineral acids. Now first we will see what are inorganic acids. So basically inorganic acids are prepared from the minerals of the earth, and these acids are highly dangerous and need to be handled with care. So these are the few examples of inorganic acids. First is hydrochloric acid, whose general formula is HCl, then sulfuric acid H2SO4, nitric acid HNO3, carbonic acid H2CO3. So next we will discuss about organic acids. As the name indicate, organic, which means from living things. So acids that can be obtained from living things is known as organic acid. So here we have certain examples. Let's have a look. So here we have three natural sources from which these organic acids can be obtained, like ants, vinegar, tomatoes, that we already discussed earlier. Ants consist of formic acid, vinegar consists of acetic acid, tomatoes consist of oxalic acid. General formula of formic acid is HCOOH, acetic acid CH3COOH, and oxalic acid general formula COOH twice. And one more thing, these are not so strong acids like formic acid, acetic acid, oxalic acid. These are weak acids. So now let's classify the acids in two more subcategories. One is strong acid and another one is weak acid. So first we will study about what are strong acids and how it is different from weak acids. So strong acids are the one which completely dissociate into ions in water solution, whereas weak acids do not dissociate completely into ions in water solution. So most of the mineral acids that we have, like hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, nitric acid, they all are considered under strong acids, as they all dissociate completely into ions in water solution. Whereas citric acid, acetic acid, oxalic acid, which are organic acids, they do not completely dissociate into ions in water solution. So they come under weak acids. Now let's see certain chemical properties of acids. So first we will see how metal react with acid. So here the first example is of zinc. Zinc, when react with strong acid like sulfuric acid, whose general formula is H2SO4. Now see what will happen in the product side. First, in reactant we see two things. One is metal and another one is acid. So here in acid you can see that H2SO4 is break into hydrogen and sulfate ions. And now out of hydrogen and zinc, which one is more reactive? Zinc. So sulfate ions displace their position and move towards zinc. So it will form zinc sulfate and now what we are left with? Hydrogen gas. So the products are zinc sulfate and hydrogen gas. Similarly, the second reaction in which magnesium react with hydrochloric acid. Again HCl break into two parts, H positive and Cl negative ions. Now out of magnesium and hydrogen, which one is more reactive? Obviously magnesium, according to our reactivity table. So chlorine ion displaces its position and move towards magnesium. So it will produce magnesium chloride and liberate again hydrogen gas. You can balance it by putting 2 in front of HCl. So in both sides we have 2 hydrogens, 2 chlorines and 1 magnesium. Now let's see how base react with metals. Just like acid react with metal, they produce salt and hydrogen gas. Similarly, when metal react with base, it will produce salt and hydrogen gas. Let's take one example. In this we have one metal, that is aluminium, which react with base, that is sodium hydroxide, NaOH. So when they react with each other, they will form sodium aluminate and liberate hydrogen gas, where sodium aluminate is a salt. So when base react with metal, the products will remain same as it produced when acid react with metal, that is salt and hydrogen gas. So either a base or an acid, when react with metals, it will produce salt and hydrogen gas. Now let's see it with the help of an experiment. Now let's prove it with the help of an activity, that how metals react with acid to produce salt and hydrogen gas. To prove this, first we will arrange the apparatus. So we need a stand, a test tube, a cork, a delivery tube, soap solution and a burning candle. So let's begin with this activity. Now take about 5 ml of dilute sulfuric acid in a test tube and add few zinc granules into it. You will observe that the brisk reaction take place at the surface of the zinc granules, which shows that the reaction is taking place with the evolution of gas. Now pass this gas with the help of delivery tube into the soap solution. You will see that the soap bubbles filled with the gas rises up. Now to check the gas contained in the bubbles, bring a burning candle near the soap bubbles. You will see that the bubbles burst and the gas present in it catch fire with a pop-up sound. This shows that the gas is a hydrogen gas. Now this is how the bubbles are formed when metal react with acid. And this is how, when the burning candle bring near to the soap solution, it will catch fire with a pop-up sound. Now next we will see that how hydrogen carbonate react with acid. So let's see it with the help of an activity. In this activity we need a stand, a test tube, thistle funnel, delivery tube, cork and one more test tube. Let it be test tube 2. Right? Now take sodium carbonate in a test tube 1 and then clamp this test tube in a clamp stand. Now fix a cork fitted with a thistle funnel and a delivery tube into the mouth of the test tube, and then add dilute hydrochloric acid through the thistle funnel. Now allow the gas evolve to pass through lime water taken in the test tube 2. You will observe that the lime water which is present in test tube 2 turns milky, which shows that the gas evolved is carbon dioxide. The following reactions take place. After this, you will see that in test tube A, sodium carbonate when react with hydrochloric acid, it will produce sodium chloride, water and carbon dioxide. Now how this works? Sodium carbonate dissociate into sodium and carbonate ions, and hydrochloric acid dissociate into hydrogen and chlorine ions. You will see that the double displacement will occur over here. Sodium combined with chlorine to form sodium chloride, and then what we are left with? Hydrogen carbonate, which is break down into water and carbon dioxide. Same reaction will occur in test tube 2 or test tube B. Now when you pass this carbon dioxide through lime water, the formula of lime water is calcium hydroxide. You will observe that the lime water will turn milky as it forms the white precipitates of calcium carbonate along with water. Now let's see few more examples of metal hydrogen carbonate or metal carbonate with acids. So here we have two reactions and one general formula. So the general formula of when metal carbonate react with acid, the products are salt, water and carbon dioxide. Now you will see the same products are formed when metal hydrogen carbonate react with acid, that is salt, water and carbon dioxide. Now let's observe these two reactions one by one. First reaction is sodium carbonate react with HCl, and second is potassium hydrogen carbonate react with HCl. So let's begin with our first example in which sodium carbonate react with hydrochloric acid. So sodium carbonate break into ions in which sodium and carbonate ions are formed, and in HCl hydrogen and chlorine ions are formed. Now again double displacement will occur. So chlorine ion will move towards sodium to form sodium chloride, and what we are left with now, hydrogen and carbonate, it will form hydrogen carbonate which will break into water and carbon dioxide. Now moving on to our next example in which potassium hydrogen carbonate react with hydrochloric acid. So first potassium hydrogen carbonate dissociate into ions, potassium and hydrogen carbonate ion, and HCl is divided into again two ions, H positive and Cl negative. Now again double displacement will occur in which chlorine ion will move toward potassium, and we are left with hydrogen carbonates which form or break down into water and carbon dioxide. So this is how the milky appearance will form when metal carbonate or metal hydrogen carbonate react with acids. Now even after when lime water turns milky, you still pass on carbon dioxide through it, you will see that the milky appearance will suddenly disappear. This is because it will form calcium hydrogen carbonate, which is highly soluble in water. Now as we know, carbon dioxide acts as a fire extinguisher, so you can check the carbon dioxide by bringing the candle near to it. If it extinguishes the fire, it means the gas liberated is carbon dioxide. Now this is how you can test it. Now let's see another chemical property of acid. So when acid react with base, it will form salt and water. This is also known as neutralization reaction. As we know, acid can neutralize base and base can neutralize acid. So when they react with each other with equal strength, they will produce a salt which is neutral in nature. Okay. Now here with respect to base, I use one more term, that is alkali. So how it is different from the regular bases? Alkalis are the base which dissolve in water. As all the bases do not dissolve in water, so alkalis are the bases which dissolve in water. So all alkalis are base, but all bases are not alkali. Now let's see few examples in which acid react with base. First is sodium hydroxide react with hydrochloric acid. Second is potassium hydroxide react with sulfuric acid. Third is copper oxide react with hydrochloric acid. Now in first two examples we have OH ions which indicate that these are bases. But in third I use copper oxide instead of any direct base. So what does it mean? It means that the metallic oxides are basic in nature. Now let's see what are the different products formed in each of the following reactions one by one. Now let's start with our first example in which sodium hydroxide react with hydrochloric acid. Now these two things, base as well as acid, they both are in aqueous state, right? So in aqueous state they dissociate into ions. Sodium hydroxide break into sodium and hydroxide ions, and HCl break into H positive and Cl negative ion. Again double displacement will take place. So chlorine ions will move towards sodium and OH negative ions will move towards hydrogen. So it will form sodium chloride and water. Now in second example we have potassium hydroxide and sulfuric acid. Potassium hydroxide breaks into K positive and OH negative ions, and sulfuric acid breaks into hydrogen and sulfate ions. Again double displacement will take place. So it will form potassium sulfate and water. Now let's move to our third example in which copper oxide react with hydrochloric acid. Again the double displacement will take place. First copper oxide divide into two ions, that is copper and oxygen. Then hydrochloric acid again dissociate into ions, that is H positive and Cl negative. So chlorine ions will move towards copper to form copper chloride, and hydrogen along with oxygen forms water. So out of these three reactions we find that in every case when acid react with base, it will form salt and water. Thanks for watching the video. Press subscribe and the notification button so that you will get the updates, and also press like button.